Blessings.
So welcome everybody to the second hour of Mindshifters Radio. And today is Friday, January the 15th, 2021. And our call-in number is 563-999-3581. And press 1 and that'll put you in the queue. So welcome, Michael. Are you still there, Michael?
Thank you. Thank you, dear heart. I am still here. And things are rocking here. You know, sounds like some disturbances in the energy field with the radio show. Actually, disturbances in the energy field systems. And as those are opened, processing through them, and remember that in this work, our definition of process is to take that which is less than love, allow it to move, allow it to surface, and for that to happen in the presence of active love. And so that's what we're here to do. And we're blessed to have this time, this technology, this opportunity. So I, for one, am appreciative on the deepest levels. And I'm going to just take the next piece of reading from my book. And if you've got the book and you want to follow along, it's Roman numeral 20, XX, that we're into. And it's the section on life with and without tools. And what I'm going to do, instead of just reading straight through the page, if you're looking at it with me, I'm going to read the life with tools and the life without tools, each line with its match. So life with tools is awakening into light. Life without tools is sleep and hell. Information with tools is power. Information without tools is impotence. Power with tools is service. Power without tools is dictatorship. And of course, if you look at the political situation today, this was written 25 years ago. So, relationship with tools is interdependence. Relationship without tools is codependence. Knowledge with tools is safety. Knowledge without tools is danger. Commitment with tools is a blessing. Commitment without tools is hopeless. Abundance with tools is easy. Abundance without tools is loss. Health with tools is natural. Health without tools is impossible. Learning with tools is education. Learning without tools is chaos. Ambition with tools is accomplishment. Ambition without tools is corruption. A world with tools is peaceful. A world without tools is war. Having tools and using them leads to aliveness. Having tools and not using them is life without tools. And so our purpose in being here to make the tools that we have developed over the last half century of doing this work available to quite literally every mind, heart, and being on the planet. And so our purpose for this radio show is not only to provide those tools, but also to support you in using them, to empower you to put them to work in your life. And where support is needed, each of us that facilitates this show, whether it's Michelle or Tim, Jeanie, myself, the same as everybody else. We're humans in process, learning and bringing forward more of our humanness at every moment, hopefully. And so, having engaged in that process for, well, between us, I'm not even sure what we have. We probably have, I don't know, well over 100 years between those who facilitate the show with you. And having dedicated ourselves to that, we're dedicated to providing support for those who life is busy. Sometimes it's survival. Sometimes it's just a wipeout for people. So much suffering and so much pain in the world. And so we're here doing our process work as we invite you to do it. And hopefully in some areas are maybe a step ahead of you in doing it. And so we can open the space and provide the support. And hopefully there are going to be places where you're a step ahead of us. Your questions and your thoughts and your process is going to open the space for us to move to the next level. And together we go forward. And each person that moves forward is a step. You know, as was said when that step was taken on the moon, it's a step for all of humanity. 2,000 years ago, the man named Yeshua says, I've opened the door wide. Nobody can close it. People have tried. People have tried. In many cases, especially people in the theologies, churchianity has tried with its fear and its trauma and its terrorizing people, using God as an object of terror for people. Oh, they've tried to close that door. But the door of healing is open. And as we each step into doing our work, breathing, opening, letting that life energy flow, we each get to participate in taking it to another level. So we're honored and delighted that you're here to be part of this process. You are deeply appreciated. And Ms. Jeanie, do we have anything, or do we have a chat room, and or do we have anybody in the phone queue with a hand up?
We do not have a chat room. And so anybody that's listening, we apologize. You can't, I went out and I couldn't even find it on BlogTalk. So I have no idea what's going on there. And I haven't heard back from their tech support yet. So we'll just have to ride with it and hold the space. Nobody has a hand up except those who have already talked. Oh, a hand just went up. Code 480. You're on the air. Who do we have?
480. Give us the name. Where are you calling from? I thought you recognized this area code.
Hey, young man.
It's Scott from Oregon.
Welcome.
Hi, Michael.
How do you be?
Quite good.
You've been in the throes of your process.
Yeah, it's a speed up, so I'm told. So
the day you make the commitment to the intensive, the energy starts to move on a whole new level. Did you notice?
Well, yes. And this is not the first time that I've made a commitment to an intensive, not yours, but same thing's happening. As soon as I make the commitment, the pot starts to stir. And that's
things rock.
And for me, okay, the pot stirs on the inside and stuff comes up, right? And the pot stirs on the outside where things get cleared out of my way almost magically in order for me to be a full participant. It's hard to believe, but that's what's happened. And so I wasn't really planning on talking about that, but Michael, so recently the thing that's been occupying my mind the most is how am I going to maintain this full-time job that's 40 or 40 plus hours a week and be fully present and manage this health situation and be fully present for this intensive. And it looks like today I got the answer to that question. And without going into any detail, it just just suddenly a doorway opened, and I'm going to walk right through, and the answer came. And you know,
well, share it with us. Everybody will benefit from that.
Okay, all right. So, this is nothing new for me, because in the course in the manual for teachers, you know, the first part in that's the bedrock for everything is the development of trust, and that has been a challenge, because every time something new comes up, or there's something that I perceive as stressful, you know, the ego wants to get in there and fix and control and attempt to manage everything when it knows nothing. And so it starts ratcheting up the anxiety, right?
That's what it does.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
of course, the thing to remember, Scott, the thing to remember is the ego has no volition. It's only doing what you've trained it to do. And you can untrain it.
Well, that's what I'm hoping the intensive's going to do. That's part of the untraining right there, a big part. So anyways, with all this on my plate, I'm just thinking, now, how am I possibly going to manage all this? And I went for a job interview today for a teaching position. I just showed up out of the blue, and I don't know if I'll get that particular position or not. But at the end of the interview, the principal told me, "Oh, by the way, you know, since you're new to Bend and Oregon and trying to get a foothold in the district here, regardless of what happens, if you sign up as a substitute teacher right now, you'll get like $130 a day and probably get called 5 days a week from now until the end of school." Bingo, there it is. Yeah, it's just handed to me on a silver platter.
Sweet.
Right, seemingly. And so, you know, I've been a sub a million times and a full-time teacher for 12, 13 years. And so going into these classrooms and holding down the fort, that's a piece of cake. And that gives me the opportunity then to be, you know, a full participant in the intensive. And I didn't even have, you know, Wednesday at 3 o'clock for me, which is the meeting time for the intensive, my time, wasn't even available, because on this present schedule, I work every Wednesday starting at 1 or 10 o'clock. So I didn't even know how I was going to attend. I just know that the guidance from Yeshua was absolutely to be part of this intensive. And so I moved toward doing it and decided to let the rest of the chips fall where they may. And then that's where this opening has presented itself.
Wait.
And there's the development of trust. Is I just kept saying to myself, how is this going to possibly work out? Why am I going? And this interview today was 30 miles south of where I live, and I'm asking myself, why am I going to this place when I'm going to have to get up at like 5 in the morning? It's like a 45-minute long ride to and from. What is this for? Was the question I was asking. And it may not even be for the job itself, the interview. It may just be for the information that I got regarding substitute teaching and it being available to me 5 days a week with possible long-term positions where the responsibility is minimal. You just show up. I just show up. And so, you know, just there's the answer. I couldn't see it.
And maybe you're just to show up and share your healing process.
Oh, with the kids, believe me, and the teachers and the principals.
They need it.
Well, I
so
know.
Much of the world doesn't have any tools at all. That thing I just read about life without tools.
Right. And because of the work that I've done recently, I've become a better listener. I mean, I could go on and on, Michael. What I might bring to any circumstance, including teaching, which I've been at for a long time, is certainly going to be better than what I've ever brought before, because I'm aware of what I'm there for. It's not just to teach math and reading. No, it's relationships. And so that's the priority. And even though I'm hired as a teacher to teach math and language arts, that's secondary to establishing healing relationships with the people that surround me, no matter where I go. That's it. That's priority number one. So I'm with you on that.
Sweet.
So, all right. So then, the other thing that I wanted to mention, which is what you were talking about regarding tools. I've been diligently reading the text of the course lately, and I read chapter 26, and I'm in the middle of 27, and I don't remember exactly which chapter it is, but talks specifically about the split mind. And I've never really been totally clear on it, but I am now, because what I read is simply this. The split mind is, part of my mind is healed and whole. And I am through this awakening process that I've been through in the last year. That part of my mind has developed further, and it's opened wider. And I'm
so
really
my input.
grateful.
Can I give you some input?
Yeah, sure.
That part of your mind is not healed.
Well,
that part of your mind has never been diseased. That part of your mind has always been whole. You're making room for it to show up.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that correction, because that's absolutely right. Okay. It's right.
Just making room. That line in the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic that can be what they call the Lord's Prayer, that can be properly translated as speaking to the Creator, saying, Creator, carve out a space in me for your wholeness. So your wholeness is showing up, and that's what you need to have lead your life.
Right. And that would be wholeness with a capital W.
Capital W, absolutely.
And then here's the other half.
Or maybe a capital H.
Ha.
Holy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
the Course says the world has need of your holy mind. That's the mind it's talking about. That mind that was created whole and intact, and now with forgiveness you're making room for it.
Yes, and over the last year, I've had a decent amount of experience with what that holy mind is like, including a direct connection with Ruka and Yeshua. It's great. And the experience of being. It's all good stuff. And because, Michael, one of the questions that I've just been going over a lot is, this seems backwards to me. Shouldn't I be working on the other half of the split mind first and then have this awakening stuff? Nope, not in my case. And I'm not in charge of my own awakening, obviously. And I'm getting what I need. And developing this or opening up the side of my mind that's already whole, that came first. Doesn't make sense to me, but so what? And then here's what I was leading to, is that the other half of my mind, which is the one that does need healing, it's so clear to me now. Where do I need the healing? In relationship to my brothers. And specifically, that would be my power person and anybody who resonates that power person that's in my present now. And there's where all the tools of this intensive show up. Laid at my doorstep, all I had to do was sign up, pay some money, and walk through the door. And because everything that I need right now, I see as being available to me in that work, in that intensive, because the top thing is and through the forgiveness of my brother, and I'm talking about your brand, the Aramaic forgiveness. There's my dad, and anybody and everybody who's resonating that frequency with me. And there were 2 incidents yesterday, and when they came up, I was grateful. Instead of, the anger was there. The other thing, Michael, is I've been looking at specifically the fear that is underneath the anger, and it's just amazing what I'm discovering regarding what it is and I'm afraid of. Holy cow! And so even this gas station job has been a primer for the intensive, it looks like. So as confusing as this unfolding seems to be to me, the pathway is getting clearer and the roadblocks are vanishing, and the intensive that I really want to dedicate my time to is right on the horizon, and everything seems to be falling into place perfectly, including the tools I need to heal the unhealed part of my mind, which is my relationship with other people going back to the beginning. Because I can see how, by doing the worksheets, I can see how practically every person that I react to is somehow related to the way I perceive my dad as treating me, and how I set up this game of the face of innocence combined with the sidekick I hired, the face of evil, to protect me. I'm getting into philosophy now. I know that you know what I'm saying, but it's got to go, because I've been running that program for 60 years and it doesn't work. And so everything right now is pointing in the direction of doing the intensive and clearing the plate and healing my mind of this, so that I can then go forth and heal the minds of others and be truly helpful. Make sense?
Of course, you and I aren't going to heal the mind of any others, only our own, but by facilitating and supporting and helping people to uncover the empowerment that's already in them, each one will heal their own minds when they're ready.
That's right. Exactly right. And I just read that yesterday about how, and that's also in the manual, about how, I can extend the healing to others, but it's never up to me regarding when they accept it. I can extend the healing to my dad, but he may not be ready. The healing may be too scary for him right now. So the acceptance of what I offer to others is not, and when it's just not my business, and that's okay with me. But one of the things I want to say, Michael, is that it's difficult for me the course with the text and the lessons and the manual are such an integral part of my understanding of everything. It's hard to imagine myself without it, because I go into the intensive with that as my background and my base, and it makes so much sense that in the past I might have said, I don't have the money for this or whatever, and believe me, I'm not swimming in money, as you know, but it doesn't make any difference. This is what's in front of me, and my priority is set. And I know from experience that if I move in this direction, I will get the support I need, period. So I'm not nearly as I'm just not afraid about making this decision, especially when I know that, Yeshua himself is the one telling me this is what you need to do. And now I have so much more clarity around it, because the pathway's clearing. The obstacles are just disappearing off the plate.
Cool. So if you listen to your regulatory speech,
I knew you were going to say
what you just told yourself is there's some fear there, and so that's where I'd go with my next worksheet.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, believe me, for the last month or so or longer, I've been doing all of my worksheets around anger. Well, I just turned the page on that, and that was through what I got from the PCE, the information that I got, which was underneath this, all this anger and rage that I have is fear, not hurt like I had suspected, and it's just, I kept trying to find, where's the hurt? Where's the hurt? It's not the hurt. Now that I have my finger pointed in the direction of the fear is opening up, and I'm seeing it clearly, and it's really kind of unbelievable that I would see things like a 5-year-old does, and yet that's exactly what's happening. I have this fear, and it comes right out of my childhood, and it's being, put out there on the screen. Oh, I've got this angry, rageful person to protect me, and it's all a load, because underneath that, I've got all this fear going on inside, and the combination of that fear and that anger is what's got my guts twisted up in knots. That's as clear as a bell as well.
There you go. A personal code evaluation is a gem, isn't it?
Honestly, I had no idea what it was leading to. And then it uncovered for me, it is a gem, because it uncovered for me the other half of the equation before I even start the intensive, which is you don't want to look at hurt. There's nothing, there may or may not be anything there, but the underlying factor to look at is fear. Bingo. I started looking at it as soon as I found that out.
Nice.
And it makes
good work. Awesome.
It just makes sense. I asked myself, okay, so what is it I'm afraid of here? Well, and we've had enough of a conversation before where what I'm afraid of is a response or a reaction that mimics or parallels exactly what I would expect my father to do. And so that door has just flung wide open too. So not only will I be looking at the anger, but the fear that's driving it is going to be front and center as well. And so for Yeshua, Ruka, they've just primed me for this whole experience through this gasoline station job, which I suspected all along. There's a reason for everything. So anyways,
and the literally the thing that runs the world. I mean, to get this piece of information out and available on the global scale is one of my primary purposes. And it's never been seen in the world before. And it's been hinted at, it's been talked about. It's like, it all happened when you were 3 years of age. Yeah, but the power person dynamic that we uncover in the codependence to interdependence workshop is literally the core of what runs the whole world. I mean, every government, every business, every protester, every murderer, every rager, every attacker, every politician, every business, every church, literally virtually every mind on the planet, until that dynamic is understood and then uncovered and forgiven. It runs the world. It's such a huge piece of information to have. And most people want to live in denial of it.
Well, most people are afraid of looking, for one thing.
Your willingness.
Sure. I'm more than willing. I've had enough
I
of
got
this. I want the alternative with a capital A.
When you get tired and sick of being sick and tired, eh?
Yes, exactly. And the only one thing I might add to what you just said is that, Michael, what you're talking about regarding this dynamic that I've adopted for myself as a 3-year-old. Now, I went into the last time I went to a counselor in the world, I was there for a number of months, and finally we got to the point, well, let's take a look at your relationship with your father. And I said, by all means, let's do that. And the very next statement was about how my father is the one responsible for all my difficulties, and he's the one to blame. And I got up and I left. I said, thanks, I'm not going there. Been there, done that. And so, but that's great because it leads me to a very clear understanding about what you're offering as a tool, the Aramaic forgiveness process, which has absolutely nothing to do with blame and everything to do with personal responsibility in order to make myself available as someone who's truly helpful and shed this false identity. It's perfect. It's great.
Right on track. That's it.
Okay. Well, I feel like I've said enough.
Well, I join you in being truly helpful.
Mm-hmm.
That's our purpose here, the purpose of this show. And, you know, it's time for the world to receive the kind of support that it has been crying for centuries. So let's join in doing it and making it available to every mind, heart, and being on the planet.
Agree. I'm with you.
Sweet. Awesome. All right, sir. Well, anything else on your mind?
No, not for now.
Okay. Well, then we'll hold you in the blessing and that your new job pans out easily and sweetly, and your assignments are in schools that are close to home, so it's an easy drive and gives you an abundance of time and an abundance of support, and that the kids in the classrooms that you'll be working with are the ones who are ready to be in the space that you're there to create.
And Michael, you know these kids, they've been out of school for months. And so, yeah, they need, even in the conversation I had with the principal today, I said, well, you know, in putting the next few months together, what are the priorities here? And he said, well, academics is in third place. And that's what I thought he would say, because getting these kids just back into thinking like they're in school and have something else to do besides play video games is going to be enough of a challenge. And all of the anxiety and everything that they're carrying around with them over what's been going on and what's still going on, that's what will be in front of me. And I feel confident I can help them with that.
What grade level are you going to be teaching on?
Probably fourth or fifth. 10,
Perfect.
11-year-olds. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, that'd be a perfect place to introduce them right at the beginning of class to quiet time and just doing some breathing. Just for them to just sit still and breathe and support them processing out some of the trauma that they're carrying and that their family systems are experiencing from, you know, the poverty aspect, the loss of family and friends. I mean, all the stuff that's going on, but just gently introducing them to sitting still with a straight spine and closing their eyes and just breathing a little bit and supporting them tapping into the truth of their whole being and bringing that into their lives. What a gift. You know, Julie Haverstick taught kindergarten and grade 1 for many, many years. And I remember one year she took the commitment from the adults and she created a children's commitment. In fact, if you jump on the website, you might get a copy of the children's commitment. And what she used to do at the beginning of each year was she'd take one full chalkboard at the front of the room and she would write out by hand the children's commitment. Mm-hmm. When kids came into her classroom, she'd say, hey, everybody, here's what we're here to learn. This is number 1. Promise to trust you enough to tell you the truth and be true to you and treat you lovingly, gently, and with respect. Now, that's the adult version, but she took it into the kids version, which I don't have in hand right here. But anyway, and that was like number one for those kids. And she tells one story about, and her whole focus was to support the kids in being inner directed. And she tells a story about one time the power was off, and so her alarm didn't go off. She gets up late and calls the school and says, tell my grade 1 kids that I won't be there on time, and get Mrs. Such and Such, one of the other teachers, to go down and give them some assignments. And she ended up, I think if I remember correctly, she ended up getting to school, I believe it was around 11 o'clock or 11:30. And these are, kids who are six years of age. And she's heading to her classroom, and 2 of the teachers come out of their classrooms to approach her. And she asked, did you take, we didn't know where you were. The woman in the office forgot to get one of the other teachers to look in on the classroom. So when the teacher said to her, I don't know how you're doing it with these kids, but when I went in to see if they need any help, I didn't know where you were. They just said one of the kids was handing out papers, and they said, well, we're just handing out the papers that we think Mrs. Haverstick would want us to be using. We just hope we're doing the right work. And they didn't need any other guidance or support. These are kids in grade 1. And the number one thing she was there to teach them was the commitment. That was at the front of the room the whole year. And every time anybody went off base, they'd go back to the commitment. What are we going to do? And to support kids in healing the thought disorders based in hostility and fear and rage and messages of dehumanization, messages that come from power persons, parents oftentimes about you're stupid, you're bad, you're broken, there's something wrong with you, you'll never be any good, all those kinds of dehumanizing messages. And she created a space for healing those with kids. And this is just awesome to watch her work. So, and I am sure that if you ever need any support or guidance in that regard, that Julie would be happy to hear from you.
And Scott, I just sent you an email with a link directly to, it's got the Who Am I Am Somebody, the child's commitment to them. Okay, and then also the child's commitment to themselves and the child's commitment to another person. All 3 of those are on the same page. Let's
read them. Share them with us. This is what Mrs. Haverstick was teaching in her kindergarten and grade 1 classrooms.
Okay, so the first one is, who am I? I am somebody. I am somebody. I am bright, capable, and lovable. I am teachable and learn easily. I tell the truth and am a gentle listener. I respect myself and others. I am cooperative and responsible for my feelings and choices. I see the highest and best in myself and others and support that with my thoughts, words, and actions. I use time wisely because it is valuable. I am the best me I can be each day. I am somebody. I am love. And then the next one is the child's,
That's for children?
She had it like blown up like a poster and put it up in the room and had it there, I think, always.
Well, the whole world needs that commitment, that statement.
What is it?
Say it again, Scott.
The whole world needs that statement, that commitment.
Absolutely.
That's everything. What do you mean it's for first grade?
Right. And then the child's commitment to another person, it says, I promise to trust you enough to tell you the truth. I promise to treat you lovingly, gently, and with respect in my thoughts, my words, and my actions. I promise to remember that being connected to love and being friends with you are the most important things to me. I promise to always hold love in my heart and reconnect to that love if you or I am not feeling loving. I promise to be open and gentle as we talk about our painful feelings and join in healing them. I promise to listen, speak, cooperate, and be responsible for my realities. I promise to choose to get along with you and create a loving friendship. I will keep my promises to you.
Yeah, that's great, Jeanie.
And then the promise to myself. I promise to tell myself the truth. I promise to treat myself lovingly, gently, and with respect in my thoughts, words, and actions. I promise to remember that being connected to love and being my own best friend are most important. I promise to reconnect to love if I am not feeling loving toward myself. I promise myself that I will be responsible for my realities and heal my unloving behaviors. I promise to choose humility by seeking the highest and best in me. As I commit to creating a loving friendship with myself, I will always keep these promises. So I sent you a link to that.
Great. I started breathing more deeply just listening to that. That's a good sign. Yeah. And this is also what I was alluding to with the gas station job before, which is the number one priority is not putting gas in the tank. The number one priority is the relationship or the healing opportunities that I have in front of me with every person that shows up, including the manager. So with school, academics takes a back seat to what I just heard. That is number one. Because these kids, they're coming in with all kinds of issues. And you know that. And so if those aren't, then teaching the academics becomes very difficult when these kids just came in after getting a lashing from their parents or something like that. So, yep, I'm with everything I just heard. And thank you for bringing that up, because I will bring that into the classroom, even if I'm a substitute. Let's talk, guys. So that's great. Thanks for sending that, Jeanie.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for Miss Julie for taking it and putting it into the children's format. I expected Jeanie to tell her that we're talking about
her. Great. And I'd love to get in touch with her.
Awesome.
Sure she has some food.
Awesome. Well, any other thoughts for you, sir?
Not at the moment.
All right. Well, thank you, Scott, for all your questions and comments and sharing that with us.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
All right. Well, we do have another caller, and it's area code 541. You are on the air.
Well, hi. This is the other Julie.
Oh, hi there, young lady.
This is Julie Matthews, not Miss Haverstick. So I wanted to say a couple things. Oh my gosh, I forget the man's name that was just on. Scott. Yeah, he sounds great. He sounds so enthusiastic, and I was feeling the resonance from it. I'm a teacher too, and I can't wait till he gets into the classroom, spreading the joy and being a presence of love. So that's great, and I'm glad he's in our intensive. So now, and by the way, I need to say I'm going to be in the group that's studying with the intensive, whatever you call us. Yeah, I'm planning on that. I never let you know probably yet.
For anybody that's listening, but Julie, I sent emails yesterday with the links to be able to log into that on Zoom. So check your email out for that information.
Yeah, and I started thinking of a list I've got of over the years, probably 15 people and groups that I should have go on this with you guys now that it's so accessible by Zoom. So I'm going to have to get to work on that and let them know. Is it $1,200?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. And then okay. Well, so here's another reason I called. Last night I woke up and I'm real well rested and 3 in the morning but I was awake and I just started thinking about things, and I sometimes I say the Lord's Prayer to myself to go to sleep with or just to be with, because every word in it is amazing. I haven't located the Aramaic one that you translated or gave to us yet, but what I wanted to say...
I'll send you the link.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, the Aramaic is a powerful communication. It really is. But I was being with each word, and I often do this, and sometimes I'll get stuck on the word hallowed and really feel it, like, what is that? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And so, but last night I was coming to the phrase of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Is that in the Lord's Prayer? I don't think it is.
No.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
No.
It's not. Okay, well, but I kept coming to that. And I started replacing the word do with forgive. Forgive as to others. Kind of like instead of unto, but as to. Because that really made a difference for me when you put those words forth, as to. I really started understanding forgiveness. As to what someone that you're seeing outside of you or something objectively outside of you, you're seeing it as causing your experience. But really, it's as to your object of attention. You are taking responsibility for what's coming up inside ourselves. I'm speaking weird today. I don't know why, but anyway, so if you say the whole, it's the golden rule. Instead of do unto others as you would have them do unto you, that's almost like making a deal. Like, okay, I'll do unto you, but now you're not doing unto me. Or, whoops, I goofed and I didn't do unto you the right way or with the most love, so now I've lost the whole thing and I'll never recover and I'm just not a good doer unto others. So, but if you put forgive in there, forgive as to others as you would have them, forgive as to others and what they might bring up in you. I should have written it down. I'm so sorry. Michael,
it's okay.
You
can let it go.
Is it coming to you? Is it coming to you? I bet it is. As to, as you would have others forgive as to what comes up in them. I don't know. It was so clear.
That's called the healing process. You get clarity, and then your mind comes up with all the crap that goes against it, and you get to process that out until you come back to the clarity.
Yeah.
So in the interpretation of the Lord's Prayer, or what they call the Lord's Prayer, which isn't a prayer at all, but rather a set of instructions, what that section of it says on our website, and the interpretation that I have there is that you forgive from us those realities we've engaged in that do us harm and do not belong in our humanness is another of your blessings we appreciate. We commit to responsibility and forgiving as to those painful realities others trigger in us.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's the Aramaic?
It's not a translation of the Aramaic. If you read it on the website, you'll see that what I explain is that what they call the Lord's Prayer is not a prayer at all. In no way, shape, or form is it a prayer. It's a set of instructions. And, of course, we live in a different culture than they lived in 2,000 years ago. So I've taken the Aramaic context of 2,000 years ago and interpreted it to be more in alignment with our cultural challenges.
Oh, okay.
But you can download
that
from the website. So if you want to just take a breath, we've got just a few minutes left. So let's turn this into a meditation.
Okay, great.
And I'll just offer that the word prayer in Aramaic means to set a trap for God. The word prayer does not mean tell the Creator what the Creator should be doing for you. Order the Creator around and tell him what you want. That's not prayer. It is petition, and go ahead and petition. But when you call mumbling words prayer, you're totally out of alignment with what prayer is. The word actually means in Aramaic to set a trap for God, which means, just like a TV antenna, if you're aligned and oriented properly, then the TV antenna captures channel 2 and reflects the picture and sound of Channel 2 into the room perfectly through the instrument of the television set. In Aramaic, the context of the word prayer is, and what's called the Lord's Prayer is an instruction set for how I become aligned and oriented so that I reflect the active presence of love into the world properly. I capture or trap love and reflect it into the world. So here's my interpretation. You can go to the website for that, and Jeannie's already put it in the notes for today. So our eternal Creator, parent to us all, who is in the realms of the unmanifest, make a space in us for wholeness, that we may be taught to honor, worship, and serve you. Let your counsel, your wisdom, and your love come alive in us. Let your light penetrate us, attune us to, and empower us to conceive of and understand that will which you have already created for us. Teach us so that we may give birth to your fruit. That you renew and feed us daily with the presence of your love, the love of each other, and the food we receive is a gift we gratefully accept. Thank you for restoring us to abundance, teaching us gratitude and how to give as you give, and presence love as you are the presence of love for both the just and the unjust. That you forgive from us those realities we've engaged in that do us harm and do not belong in our humanness is another of your blessings we appreciate. We commit to responsibility in forgiving as to those painful realities others trigger in us. When we are tempted or lost in materialism or fall out of harmony with your love, that you are there with us, being the space of love, that your love is always present no matter how far we fall, no matter where we go, is a blessing we gratefully accept. That with your grace, you deliver us from our errors, and through your light part us from darkness is another blessing that flows from your presence. We receive each of these gifts with gratitude and praise, sealed in trust, faith, and truth. Amen. Amen. So I'm going to just invite everybody to breathe into the space of that set of instructions. How do those instructions fit in your world? What needs to be done in your mind? And we breathe with you. We just invite you to just soak in what's appropriate for you out of those words. Bringing forward the active presence of love. Continuous experience. Miss Jeanie, do you have any other thoughts for us? Anything to add?
No, that's awesome. Scott just texted and he said that he would like to get in contact with Julie, so I will send each one of them the other's contact information. He is in Bend, I believe. So I don't know how close or how far away that is, but anyway, we'll get you all in touch with each other. Plus, you'll see each other every Wednesday in the support group too.
Yeah, I think that he's talking about making a connection with Julie Haverstick. So, but
he was mentioning her. Yeah, he sent a text and he was like with a 541 area code that he thought maybe she was close to him. So, yeah, but he wanted to get in touch with Julie Haverstick as well. Yes. Yeah.
And I did text Julie and tell her we were talking about her, and so she was listening. So she's part of the conversation. In fact, if you have anything to add, Julie, you might push one. We've got about a minute and a half. If you want to say anything quickly.
We actually have 5 minutes. You came on early, remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, my clock is showing that it's 2 minutes to 2.
Oh, you know what? It's because Dr. Tim had to go out and sign back in for a different 2 hour. It kicked him out after he was on about three minutes. So
we've got about a minute or so now.
Yeah. So I see Julie's number. I'm going to turn her mic on. I don't know if she's in a place where she can actually. Julie, you're on.
Do you have anything to share with us, Miss Julie? And she may not be where she can talk, so we'll just let that thought go. And we'll invite everybody to, well, first of all, we'll thank everybody